Hello and welcome back to Nova SMP. Today we are going to be building a lot of farms. So the first farm we need to work on is a guardian farm because we need more of these sea lanterns. And have you ever noticed that it moves and changes? I have never noticed this before. I just noticed it right now. Anyways, we need to go conquer a ocean monument and get a guardian farm set up so we can get more sea lanterns. And then we're going to work on a squid farm in order to get some ink sacs for black dye. And then we need to work on a basic mob farm for bones, for bone meal. So lots of work for us today. Let's get moving. So we started off with cheesing this ocean monument. Don't mind the mess of blocks above, I did that earlier off camera while trying to get away from guardians because I was trying to kill squid. Anyway, if you place TNT and a redstone block at the correct locations on the top and sides of a monument, you can blast directly into the Elder Guardians' rooms and target them first instead of trying to swim around looking for them the normal way. At first I forgot how to use TNT underwater, but eventually we got it. So we got right on in there and killed this Elder Guardian. He was here. Oh, he's here in the corner. He's here. Got him. Got him. Oh, the other one's here. I see him. After defeating the monument, we began building up the Guardian farm. This one isn't an XP farm, it's just for the drops. We ended up doing a lot of digging and noodling around in the nether because this was the beginning of the nether portal confusion times. To get here in the first place, I had placed a portal in the nether that auto-generated on an island nearby. When I started building the farm, the portals were linking to each other. We tried digging all the way down to the bedrock in the nether, but ultimately portals had to be destroyed and moved around so they were farther away from each other in the overworld. During that confusion, I didn't know when I should hit record, so I didn't get any of it on film. But the reason you want to build nether portal farms, even if you go through a headache of crazily linking portals, is because it works much faster than killing mob spawns in the overworld. When they get transported to the nether, it frees up the mob cap for more spawns, and as you can see, the incredibly fast rate of spawning here. Next up, we build a squid farm. Here I am marking out a river biome for the squid farm. Why are there so many voiceovers in this video, you ask? Well, that's because I'm still learning settings and how to record for YouTube, and I had my gain sliders set wrong so that all you could hear was the annoying clicking from my mechanical keyboard. Nobody wants to hear that. It was at this point that I realized this area was not big enough for the farm. You need a space of at least 25 by 9 blocks. This was not it. I moved downriver to another spot that had a nice large middle section that would work. There's still one spot that's 7 blocks wide instead of 9, but I don't think it really matters. And just for fun, here's a really quick time lapse of digging out an area for the farm, because it's satisfying. just like that, it's done. This is another nether portal farm, and it has produced way more ink sacs than I need. I did a test AFK session just less than 1 hour while I watched a Hermitcraft video, which resulted in about 6 stacks of ink sacs. I'm happy with how this turned out. I'm definitely going to design a building to sit on top of the farm, but for now I'm leaving it the way it is. I did run into another portal linking problem. As you can see, there used to be a portal right here between the mine entrance and the crop farm. I was forced to move it further away from the Squid Farm in order for everything to work. No big deal. Now it's over behind the cobble box. And speaking of the cobble box, I have a design ready. It's gonna go right here, where these little cobble pieces are, marking the corners. And before that, I actually need to build a hostile mob farm, which is going to provide bones for bone meal and white dye. So I'm going to build another one of these landing pads with a mob farm way up in the sky. It's eventually going to get covered up by something like a space relay, space station maybe? I haven't decided yet. And down at the bottom would be another sort of different shaped shuttle. But for now, it's really just going to be a bunch of chests and hoppers. It'll be prettied up a little bit later. So I'm going to come back and show you when that's done. Here we are on top of the mob farm. It's nothing special. I guess it's just a pretty basic sort of mob farm. I went into my creative designing world and I created the exterior kind of shell that's going to pretty up this farm, except that it needs a bunch of resources that will be coming from the farm. So until then, it's going to be this ugly thing. Now it is a little funky. As you can see, there's a lot of fence gates because the way that the shell is designed, it's just not quite big enough to fit the entire usually 7 block, or rather 15 block wide platform that you would use for spawning platforms. It's actually 5 blocks, so these fence gates are holding in the water when it comes out so that it doesn't flow over the edges. I think it'll be fine. It's still going to have 10 different levels. I think it's still going to produce nicely. I just really wanted it to fit inside a pretty exterior, so I'm maybe making it hard on myself. Who knows? Remove these, and then we open all the gates. I like to face them outwards. I don't know that it really matters. Okay, now I have lit up this whole area. I spent hours caving and lighting up all the caves under here and torch spamming all over here. Eventually we'll remove the torch spam by just building here, but for now it's necessary because the mob farm is done. I think you can see from here that there's a bunch of mobs dying over there. So here we have our new landing pad, which is going to have a spaceship on it soon enough. And if we go up this way, see, we've already started collecting lots of stuff. This is great. This is great. Oops! I fell. Fire. There you go, there's a creeper dying. It's pretty quick. Now that the mob farm is done, it's time to do something about this, because this is how we've been getting in here up until now. I think these guys deserve a new home. It's time for a time lapse. So that actually took a really long time. It's been 4 days in real life, but this villager trading building is finally finished. As you might have been able to tell, the replay mod was finally released for version 1.17 last week, just in time for the last 2 seconds of my build. Up until now, I was using a second account as a cam account to record my time lapses, which is why the camera was static and used a lot of visual cuts. I'm really looking forward to using the replay mod more and getting some really cinematic shots in my time lapses. Anyways, here we are. I've done a lot of work off camera today to fill the interior with decorations and librarian villagers, which I will show you in a moment. As you can see, this side facing my starter space shuttle has the acronym MCRN. That stands for the Mars Congressional Republic Navy. In the Expanse, Mars began as a colony from Earth. Mars is a generational terraforming project started by the scientists and engineers who first landed and began digging underground and building the infrastructure for long-term survival on this dusty, barren planet. Over time, Mars became the most technologically advanced settlement in space, and while Earth tried to maintain control over the colony, the only way to avoid war with the highly advanced weapons the Martians were able to develop was to allow them independence. So that is what I want to build here for this megabase, the technologically advanced Martian society. So let's go inside and check out this technological advancement we have here now. Welcome to the MCRN Administrative Building. These fine ladies and gentlemen and non-binary folks are top-level researchers. You see, they all have powerful knowledge like how to make your tools the most efficient or your armor the most protective, and all for the price of 1 emerald each. This whole project was incredibly grindy and tedious. It took a full day in real life to move each villager in, get the right trades, and then do multiple zombie conversions to get the best prices. As you can see, there's a temporary zombification room right outside the door here with a lot of rails to move the villagers in and out. One of my favorite things in this building was building up this interior. I'm still working on my interior decorating skills, but I'm pretty proud of this. I would normally just give the villagers a single block cubby to stand in with their job block and separate each one with trapdoors or walls, making a super utilitarian kind of trading hall. I decided that since this building is so large, it would look way cuter to give them these cubicles, so they have a few blocks to wander around. Plus, they have these little counters so you can walk up and speak to them to trade. There's still a few empty cubicles on the second floor here. We're hoping to get enchantments like Respiration 3, Looting 3, Sharpness 5, a few others, but honestly, I am so sick of villagers today. On the third floor, these are cartographers. I will let you in on a probably well-known secret that I learned recently from watching Grian. If you buy glass blocks from the librarians on the first and second floor, you can turn just 6 of those into 16 glass panes and then trade those to the cartographers at a 1-to-1 rate for emeralds after zombifying and curing the villagers a few times each and make absolute bank. So that's it for our episode this week. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.